It's the NFL on EA Sports. And this one features the Ravens, field-stretching tight end. No one's been busier this season as he currently paces the NFL in receptions. It's the Ravens and the Bisons, just ahead on EA Sports.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today on to Week 15 in the NFL, and we've got a good matchup in store as it'll be the Bisons of St. Louis taking on the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his third season in the league.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win. And that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. You look at this Baltimore defense. And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently second best in the NFL.
And this unit knows exactly where they rank. They're number 2 against the pass in the NFL. You know they have their sights set on being number 1, looking for a big game today.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Patrick Queen got in there to stick him. He gets the sack. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
And normally in this spot, we talk about passing numbers from last week, but this time, it's all about the rushing. 3 times he found the end zone in his last ball game. He is a do-everything quarterback, and you have to expect we'll see him call his own number here as well.
Play action. It's Jackson. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards, the final tally. Here's Jackson to throw. And his throw is incomplete. The Ravens at 12-1 now to start play. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. I really enjoy watching Lamar Jackson run those RPOs, Charles, but I'll tell you what, it's tough calling play-by-play because you don't know whether he handed it off or kept it.
Makes you focus, doesn't it? You've got to try and stay with it, and even when we do, we often can get it wrong because our eyes naturally...
They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. DeAndre Swift, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Ravens are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You say, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards there on the catch and run. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Hands it off out of the gun. He'll get this to the 40. Sweet little juke in there. Got him some extra yardage. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Back to throw here. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Well, look at this Baltimore defense. Well, this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently 2nd best in the NFL. This is such a good unit of covering passes downfield. I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Well, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down. That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off. And that is no good. And this will stay at a 7-point game. Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed? And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL. It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas. No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs. He's airing it out for Williams. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete. To throw is Jackson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss. But he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that'll kick and go out of bounds just outside the 15 at the 16-yard line. This offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed. And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker.
but just to be...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
This is caught. Touchdown! A great play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. Touchdown! A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bisons are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get him in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed, because let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Jackson now. Flush to his right. Wide open receiver complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Swift going to try up the middle. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
That's caught. It's Flowers. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Zay Flowers, 31 yards. And the Ravens go up by 2 touchdowns. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open. He has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Now the try here for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, the offense can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Looking to throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Christian Harris. It's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Take it at the 37. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Zay Flowers and the Raven offense back onto the field. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that.
And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 58 yards.
Despite writing it down in my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Throwing is Jackson. Out to his left. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, career touchdown number 136, tying him with Marshall Faulk for 7th on the all-time list. And the Ravens have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he finds his target. It's Schultz. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Armour-Davis. And the Ravens are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Zay Flowers and his offense about to begin their next drive. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense. Is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. A give running right is Mitchell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage. But every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled him with the inside run.
And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Past the 20. Touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens continue to pull away here in this first half.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Point after try forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
On third down, they'll try and run for it on the draw. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. It's Flowers. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
when they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
20, 10. A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Jackson eluding the pressure right. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Ravens will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. And, Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, that's multiple series now that have ended with him in the end zone. A perfect plan on how to utilize him best when they get in close.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. This offense back to work now late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. Christian Harris, that is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. They'll drop to throw. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. That'll give him 8 that time. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start with one of the toughest rivalries of this or any other week. Pittsburgh playing host to Cincinnati in the AFC North. And it's the...
Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the 3rd quarter. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure you have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
It's a gain of 35. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Jackson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. These two teams, you may recall, they didn't play each other till late in the year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in Week 13. And it was the Ravens getting the road victory in that one. So now they'll look to finish off the season sweep here in Baltimore. Try the right side with Mitchell. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They go play action now. Jackson work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Now Jackson rolling to it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson punching it in from a yard away. And the Ravens take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with a touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone, and that's exactly what he did there.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's got his man, Schultz, coming across the formation. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. From the 31, here's 2nd and 6. They'll look to throw. Got a man, it's Brown. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
They'll look to throw here. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's Deontay Banks with it. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do. So I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
First down, here's Mitchell. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown from 17 yards out, and the Ravens are pouring it on. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Back to throw now on first down. This will be caught once again by Brown. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16, and another first down. He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
2nd and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. He's brought down at the 39-yard line. A 5-yard pickup on the play. And it's 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That is caught. He will have the conversion and more than that. And all the way in for the touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, 39 yards. And the Bisons get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point splits the uprights as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Ravens offense getting set and ready for this next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out of this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch.
And got his man complete. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Zay Flowers with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens are on their way to a 13th win on the year as they add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
Let's go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Back to throw.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Shedding the tackle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
A gain of 22 yards. And the St. Louis first down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Out of bounds, just short of midfield.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Christian Harris getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
He finds his man complete. That's Schultz. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th. They'll start with a run by Mitchell. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Partner, you and I have struggled with this for years. You've got the lead. Just take care of the football and burn some of that clock. But there's something to be said for not taking your foot off the gas as well, because you can never have too big of a cushion. That one, though, falls incomplete.
He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. They run out of the gun with Swift. Taken down at the 42.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Jackson throwing complete there to Flowers. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 27 yards there, a first down.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Steps away to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns. And it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
There's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the fourth quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take...
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Well, they mentioned this week, Charles, they had a couple kinks on offense that they wanted to fix. I would say they're pretty well fixed.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, just about everything they've run has been successful in this one. And if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm done with this, right? I have no answers for anything. In fact, I'd probably send a note to the clock operator. Let it run.
Extra point forthcoming. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. That time a 9-play drive, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Looking to throw. Quick slant to Brown. Now the the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
At the 45-yard line.
They'll look to throw again. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. 3rd and 8. He'll drop to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Deontay Banks with it. And the Ravens are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Ravens' 29-yard line.
I'm not flying. Roll.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Mechie. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win them the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot there.
Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play. But still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for Baltimore, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for our visitors, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.